Hello everyone, and now welcome to this human versus undead matchup taking place here on Northern Isle. MisterWinner spawning as the yellow human player on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Sheik spawning as the blue undead. Let's go ahead and speed things up, 8 times speed. Let this game get underway as we are opening things up here. Crypt, Altar of Darkness, Ziggurat. It is going to be a Lich going up against an Archmage in this matchup. Not your standard game whatsoever. Archmage going to get some help with some militia to clear out this northern creep camp here. Clearing out this northern creep camp. It is the 544 creep camp, which will give level 2. Meanwhile, off to the north side here, Lich does sell that Scroll of Town Portal, did pick up a Ritual Dagger, has a Sacrificial Skull, and a 6th Acolyte as well. Fast expansion attempt could be getting underway here in just a moment after the Null Warden. Well, some of these units get turned into skeletal minions. One Null Warden already going to get taken down. Another Rod of Necromancy, as soon as the charge is ready, will be ready to go here. And, well, another unit will go ahead and pop on out. Meanwhile, well, Ice Troll will get cleaned up and now perhaps rotated back around. Archmage already off to the north here, perhaps expecting that there is some sort of fast expansion attempt coming in from Sheik, and is going to come across this Ogre Magi creep camp just as the Lich gets into position here. Must have spotted the Lich and said, you know what, I already see what's going on. Let's go ahead and steal a little bit of that mana from that Lich as well. So already back up to 228 as the Water Elemental now looking to retreat back. There goes a Frost Nova there, more to deny mana being stolen. But there goes, used a little bit prematurely by MisterWinner as, well, could have used a little bit more mana as well. All right, that Lich was well below 65 mana, could have stolen 65 and instead stole about 30. So we'll see if that comes back into play perhaps a little bit later. Archmage could try and take down some of these Murgles here. Lich did try and invest into a fast expansion attempt, does have that Sacrificial Skull and that additional Acolyte that isn't doing anything as of yet, and is now taking the tier 2 instead. May the 4th be with you. Yes, may the 4th be with you. Coming back around, Archmage still putting pressure onto that Lich there. Perhaps wanting to steal a little bit of mana. Now that Lich would pretty much be down to about 10-15 mana only, and the Archmage would already be back up to 125, being able to summon up some more, summon up another Water Elemental as well. Coming back around, both sides are engaging here. Lich doing a little bit of exchanging blows. Ghoul now trying to retreat back onto that Blight, and will get some nice healing done as well. Now, Archmage does want to try and get to level 2, or excuse me, level 3. Drops another Water Elemental here. Tech to tier 2 has started for the human side, as we're looking at, well, a bit of damaging going back across here. All right, low hit point Ghoul going to get finished off, gets taken down. Meanwhile, the Lich still does not have enough mana for a Frost Nova. Frost Nova is incredibly expensive, and because that Lich never got to level 2, never got that Dark Ritual. Units still wandering around here. Archmage able to run a little bit of laps as this low hit point footman now looking to retreat back. Lich perhaps needs to buy Boots of Speed to get in that auto engagement, as we're looking at the tech to tier 2 nearly done, and, well, that graveyard getting underway just so we could perhaps see Slaughterhouse as that tech, or as that tier 2 building. All right, where exactly is that Lich? Lich coming back off to the north here does seem to have a little bit of mana. Is he going to try to go a Frost Nova onto that Archmage? No, goes onto that Footman instead. Now gets up to level 2. That is going to be a bit more of additional mana here. Perhaps we're going to see some Dark Rituals as well. No, nothing. Well, there's that Dark Ritual there to try and do a little bit of denying. Was that double Dark? Can't do double Dark Ritual. Perhaps one was denied with an auto attack, another denied with a Dark Ritual. Coming back through. A Rod of Necromancy could turn that frog into some skeletal minions. Meanwhile, Archmage heading off to the north here, trying to see if an expansion was started. Meanwhile, the Murlocs going to, well, make their way out here and perhaps trying to get into a little bit of a scrimmage to get some more experience. Now, exchanging blows back and forth. Low hit point Footman is going to get denied. Yes, it will. That Archmage just a little bit closer, able to land that ranged attack faster than that Lich. Meanwhile, Lich is still engaging against the Archmage here. Water Elemental now trying to push back across the other way. That Water Elemental will turn into a giant puddle here on Northern Isle as the units do try and retreat back. All right, I believe that was a ritual dagger used there, healing up that Lich. Death Knight is about to make its way out. Slaughterhouse is getting added in addition to the Halls of the Dead, and now upgrading to Black Citadel. Mountain King also out and about as well, as we are looking at, well, Workshop. And so Workshop for Flying Machine, Knight's going to get ready. We're also going into a Griffin Aviary, and this is all off of one base by MisterWinner. All right, so one base human going up against a one base undead in this matchup here as the Death Knight, well, clearing out these creep camps alongside that Lich. Death Knight does have a long road to level 2 if that Lich stays nearby. A lot of skeletal minions here, plenty of dark ritual targets, replenishment potion also being used up by that Lich as well, as both sides going back to their respective corner for some easy kills, perhaps getting some items as well. So yeah, picking up a Wand of Lightning Shield. It looks like that item is going to be removed from the drop pool here in competitive games in the future. So no more Wand of Lightning Shield, as it can be a very, very powerful, perhaps too powerful item early on in the game if you're able to get a lot of mileage out of it. Anyways, coming back around, Tracker going to get taken down here. Death Knight should get to level 2. Lich will be staying at level 3. A lot of skeletal minions just tanking quite a bit of damage here. Are we going to see a rejuvenation? No, not going to see a rejuvenation, as the Tracker does get taken down. There's level 2 picking up a Pendant of Energy. The Death Knight now up to 370 mana and could really burst heal that Lich there to, well, get that Lich back into a more comfortable position, as the Lich is perhaps leading the charge. Now the Archmage looks to try and get to level 3, should be able to get there off of this Tracker as well, but that's a lot of low hit point units. One footman already taken down. Are we going to see another footman taken down? Yes, we are, as we were seeing some dark rituals as well. Skeletal minions also getting cleaned up here, but those are just, well, those are just timed life units. Stormbolt going down onto a Crypt Fiend, but the Crypt Fiend has plenty of hit points, especially with the Death Knight so nearby. Archmage going to cause some problems. There's a Death Coil onto the Archmage, but a split second late there, as Knights are now joining in on the fight as well. That tech to tier 3 quickly completed. Paladin already done. We see Griffins, Knights, and Flying Machines as the main charge here. There are no casters, so healing is going to be a little bit more difficult, but we've seen this transition into higher hit point units, or units that are immune to Frost Nova, to try and deal with the undead. It seems like in just the past couple of years, things have shifted once more. That Frost Nova Death Coil just trying to devour that entire backline has become a major, major problem, as the Dark Ranger is also out here on the battlefield as well. Thanks for Elegant still in header. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and remove that. All right, coming back down here as well. Paladin, Mountain King, Archmage. 3-2-1 Archmage with plus 14 on that auto attack should be able to deal quite a bit of auto attack damage. Meanwhile, off to the north side here, Death Knight looking to clear out this Null Overseer creep camp. And as well, Death Knight wants to get to level 3. Lich should perhaps actually back away here to give Death Knight level 3. Getting that odd level is so important, but with that Dark Ranger also taking some of that experience, perhaps the Death Knight wouldn't have gotten to level 3 anyways. All right, more creep camps just constantly getting cleared, both sides with relatively low in number army sizes. You can see 3 Knights here actually taking up 12 supply. Oh, there goes my light. And then the 3 heroes taking up 15 supply. Yeah. Proper backlight. Nope. Can't afford a house with a studio in California. That's just absolutely crazy. Anyways, Archmage going to go ahead and teleport back out. And what is this? Archmage now with plus 31 auto attack. That is some crazy damage per attack there, as that Archmage tries to get away from all of the action here. Paladin does have Divine Shield, should be able to stay alive here. Both sides continuing to fight back around. Archmage with that crazy strong auto attack could just be launching fireballs, finishing off units, and then just have plenty of holy lights to try and, well, heal things up. I don't believe that they were expecting that their Paladin gets taken down. Divine Shield not going to be in time, as Knights are now going after Crypt Fiends, as all of those other all of those ghouls have been finished off already. So 45 supply compared to 32. We're seeing griffins and knights coming in as reinforcements. Mountain King currently low on mana, not going to be able to get off a Stormbolt anytime soon. Paladin looking to resurrect here as more units should be heading back out onto the battlefield. There goes another there goes another Frost over there. Crypt Fiend's trying to retreat back out. Death Coil a split second late as the Archmage gets up to level 4. The auto attacks on that Archmage is simply scary, and this is even without an Orb of Fire. Stormbolt now going down. Dark Ranger does get a Death Coil off there as the Griffins are now joining out in the battle here. There, however, is a large number of skeletal minions because of all the militia that have, that were killed with Black Arrow. Both sides still fighting their way through. You can see a little bit of damage just still racking up. There is a Death Coil that will save that Lich there with an Obsidian statue right behind. Knights now getting taken down as well. Both sides exchanging blows. Flying machines with nothing to really target at all as we're looking at more and more damage getting racked on through. Is that going to finish off that Crypt Fiend? Yes, it will. Crypt Fiend gets taken down. That crazy damage with the Archmage is making a big difference here. All right, Holy Light now saving that Mountain King there as more units are still trying to retreat back. I believe that Archmage is just auto attack and dealing far more damage than expected as we're looking at this Obsidian statue here. 2 shots would finish it off, and now what is going to happen here? Holy Light does come in for the save. There goes the Obsidian statue. Death Knight now trying to chase the Archmage. Archmage down to 145 hit points. Death Coil is not going to work there. Lich auto attack may have some more problems as the Archmage is now going to try to come in around that corner. Arcane Vault. No, there is no Arcane Vault on the inside here. Arcane Tower. Now you're going to go ahead and drain that mana. Archmage double backing around here as the Archmage trying to find another target there. Going to head off to the north. The Arcane Tower has completely dowered. Oh, beautiful water elemental block trying to head back into the corner. Archmage, however, does end up falling, and now the Death Knight is stuck without a way to get out either. All right. A beautiful kill on the Archmage, only to be overcommitted, hand caught in the cookie jar, so to speak, as the Mountain King and the Paladin avenge their friend. Beautiful play, and I was really wondering what was MisterWinner's thought there, and now with that, MisterWinner realizes, wait, I don't have an Arcane Vault. I need to build one so I can buy that Orb of Fire and also a potion of healing when the time comes. All right. Crazy engagement right there. Still, Archmage, a very dangerous hero with that strong of an auto attack. Meanwhile, Lich sitting at level 4, Death Knight sitting at level 4, Dark Ranger at level 2, gonna be able to get to level 3 here in just a moment as the Death Knight benefits from a replenishment potion, softening the blow from getting resurrected at the tavern. All right. Death Knight going to be able to get hit points, going to be able to get mana, and Obsidian Statue going to be able to help there, as well as the Mountain King and Paladin going after this creep camp off to the north, going to be able to easily clear that up as well. Knights now trying to transition back off to the north. 1-0 upgrades for those Knights. Archmage is looking to get resurrected, and in comes the Undead Army. Right, quick web right there. That Griffin Rider going to get shot down out of the sky before it even is able to launch a single attack, thereby giving more experience as well. Units now trying to make their way back across the other side here. Is the Archmage going to try and perhaps pick up an Orb of Fire as a bit of follow-up, as the Skeletal Minion is just going to take a lot of, disruption damage because he is a summoned unit. Or feedback damage? You guys know what I mean by feedback damage there. Anyways, Archmage is going to pick up an Orb of Fire. Yes, it is. Plus 36 damage on that Archmage. Now also picking up a Scroll of Town Portal and now ready to engage here. Archmage essentially critical striking with every single attack. I think his base damage is 33, so each attack is dealing more than double what you would normally expect at this point and stage in the game. No Staff of Sanctuary. Holy Light on the wrong knight there. That knight now does need to retreat back, perhaps waiting to buy a Staff of Sanctuary as well. All right. Staff of Sanctuary does make a lot of sense. Paladin should pick it up, or that Mountain King. Come on, pick up. Yep, Staff of Sanctuary straight up onto that knight right there. Let it go ahead and heal back up. Perfect opportunity to get a knight back into action at nearly no cost. Hello. Now, what are we looking to do next? Where is that Undead Army? Undead Army is still circling back around. 4-4-3 for the Undead, 4-4-3 for the Human. And I don't know if it does it feel like it is because of the auto attack damage being as strong as it is that the Archmage's auto attack just knocking units over constantly, coming back around. We're going to come here. Knight's going to try and engage against some Crypt Fiends. Fly Machine's going to go ahead and engage as well as the Obsidian Statue suffering way too much damage. 2 straight attacks onto that Obsidian Statue, pretty much taking it down already, as Flying Machine's having a bit of a problem dealing also with those Gargoyles. Unit's going to continue to try and chase here. We saw some Devour Magic. Stormbolt going to go down, but it was going to be a Dark Ritual instead in time as the Flying Machine. Does it get Staff of Sanctuary back home? No, that was onto a Griffin instead, who should be joining back in on that fight. A little bit of misclicks overall as a Knight about to get taken down. Remember, that Staff of Sanctuary cooldown is significantly longer, and well, that miss hit on that Flying Machine causing a little bit of problems. Death Coil going to save right there. However, the Death Knight now in a little bit of trouble. The Knight actually opened up the path for the Death Knight to be able to retreat back out, as we're still seeing more damage getting racked up here. Crypt Fiend going to end up getting taken down there, and another split second late shot on a Death Coil, losing another Crypt Fiend. A lot of misclicks here, but we know what the intents were, and those would have been strong plays if successful. Trying to save Flying Machines, trying to, Holy Light Knights, trying to Death Coil Crypt Fiends in time before they fall, but no, none of that in this game so far. 46 supply compared to 45. It feels like in terms of energy, momentum is belonging to MisterWinner, and Sheik, going to try and find an opportunity and make a play here. We don't see any Obsidian statues for the undead down here, as we're going to be going down after this Arcane Tower now. Meanwhile, back off to the north, Shaman's going to get cleaned up here. Magnetar Reaver going to fall. Warsong Battle Drums quickly picked up by the Paladin, as they're going to be teleporting back and trying to engage here. Warsong Battle Drums should be able to help take down some of those destroyers. Death Coil, Stormbolt, Staff of Sanctuary, Flying Machines should not be the target of those Staff of Sanctuaries, as another low hit point Death Coil missing the destroyer and instead hitting the Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger, however, now getting Stormbolted, so perhaps that was going to be a little bit better there, as both sides are still fighting once more. And you gotta sometimes it's easier to try and use your Death Coils and your heals on your control window here if you have them all on the same control group, making sure that you're hitting the right target. Meanwhile, Stormbolt onto the Lich. Lich gets a Death Coil and now has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability to follow it up just in case it needs it, as both sides are still fighting their way through. Fly Machine trying to go after the Destroyers here, but the Unholy Aura of the Death Knight allowing the Destroyers to have faster movement speed. 40 supply compared to 40. As a Sheik comes back and takes a little bit of that momentum that I was talking about moments ago. Sheik able to land in a couple of kills, as we are looking at the new Obsidian statue getting trained up. Death Knight low on mana. Lich low on mana. Dark Ranger low on hit points and on mana. Needs to see a little bit more here, as the Death Knight now going after this Tuskar Trapper. All right, Tuskar Trapper now taken down. Death Knight looking to finish off more things. Ogre Magi going to get taken down here as well. Meanwhile, we're looking at humans still sitting on one base after all this time. No expansion as of yet. And this is perhaps one of the few times I've seen a human versus undead on Northern Isle where both players opted to go for one base. Flying Machine heading back down here. I believe this Magnetar Reaver creep camp has pretty much been cleared out. Only an Ogre Magi left. Little bit of experience, however, would give that Death Knight level 5. That might actually be worth trying to clear out some remaining creep camps just to have a better start on just a better start getting to level 5. Meanwhile, Mountain King, Archmage, and Paladin, they're not at level 5 yet. Here, Undead going to try and lead the charge here. There's a Stormbolt onto a Gargoyle, and here we are into an engagement. Fly Machines, Destroyers, both sides are engaging. Death Coil going to try and save, and both sides are engaging quickly. Gargoyle is trying to take down those Fly Machines. Meanwhile, the Destroyers are trying to take down the Fly Machines as well. Paladin gets up to level 5. More Gargoyles are showing up. 40 supply compared to 48, and Sheik is starting to come away, but Death Knight now using that Potion of Lesser Invulnerability mindset as it retreats back away. 48 supply compared to 37. Both sides fighting hard. Destroyer's perhaps going to get some Devour Magic. Lich gets up to level 5 here. There's a double Devour Magic as the Destroyer able to get back in time, waiting for that Orb of Fire debuff to come to an end before the Death Knight gets off that Death Coil. Big 600 hit point heal, and Sheik really coming out ahead in that fight there. The difference being able to take down that Mountain King and also the Death Knight with that level 3 Death Coil being able to heal up 600 hit points. Paladin did get up to level 4. Level 2 Divine Shield could make a slight difference here as both sides are engaging. Destroyers trying to engage against the Flying Machines. Obsidian Statue in the backfield here. Death Knight has to be very careful. Wants to be able to make sure to see any inbound attacks on that Death Knight here. Doesn't have to worry about the Mountain King yet as he is still out of commission. Both sides fighting their way here. Holy Light saving up some of the Griffin Riders as we're looking as a change into a Destroyer. Destroyer, is he going to get a Death Coil to try and be saved here? Down to 7 hit points. He looks like he's going to get taken down, as that is gonna be the game. Sheik, who seemed to be a little bit behind MisterWinner, seeming to have a bit of that momentum. MisterWinner slipping in those last couple of minutes there, giving Sheik more opportunities to leverage his hero advantage, and especially once MisterWinner's Mountain King was taken down, the Death Knight felt like he could roam free even though he was at half hit points. Once the Death Knight is unchallenged, well, there's just one less thing for the undead player to have to worry about, and because of that, was able to play a strong game and clean things up there. Constant reinforcement of Obsidian Statues also helped, but a really strong play by both sides in this matchup. MisterWinner also cleaning up Obsidian Statues, forcing Sheik to just constantly retrain them. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.